The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Arctic Fantasy. Get up to 1K and deposit match when you sign up at Arctic Fantasy with promo code MLB SGPN. And welcome everybody to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's currently Thursday night, July 10th, around 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm your host for the episode going solo for this pod. I'm Scott Reichel. Once again, apologies for the actual time of recording. But unfortunately, I was traveling, could not make the usual recording time, and because of that, I am going solo for the podcast tonight. So we're still here to break down the Friday games. Bunch of games to get through. I'll get into them as soon as possible. For that, though, a brief reminder that you can help support the show by leaving a like and subscribing to the YouTube channel. Also, a reminder, check out the actual SGPN feed on Spotify and Apple to find all of the podcasts, picks, and episodes for all the different shows, whether it involves the MLB Gambling Podcast, NBA Gambling Podcast, Tennis Gambling Podcast as well. It's all in the SGPN feed. Also, check out the SGPN app, free download on the app stores. So once again, over picks and podcasts are available on the app and on Spotify and Apple with the SGPN feed, all completely free. So starting off with the actual first game for the card here on Friday. Not going to waste too much time. We're going to get right into it. Starting off with the first game, you have the Guardians taking on the White Sox. For this game, for the actual lines, I do see... Sorry, just making sure I got this right here because I see a different time slot here for this one. Actually, it's a doubleheader. That's why I actually have no line in it posted right now. We have Logan Allen against Smith. For this one, no lines. The Guardians will be favored in this game, but it is game one of a doubleheader. So keep that in mind. Should be a pretty interesting, I'd say, series itself because both teams really can hit. But the Guardians, of course, are better than the White Sox just based on record. But once again, Cleveland's been a catastrophe. They have won 3 in a row, so there you go. The point is you are looking at the Guardians, who have what could be the better pitcher in this matchup. Basically the same numbers. Allen, though, has actually been pretty decent recently. You are looking at his last couple of starts. He has allowed less than 4 earned runs in 5 straight. He's fine. I think Logan Allen's a guy who's been pretty up and down his entire career, but I think he can go decently when he's in good form, and he is in good form right now. You're looking at Smith, though, and he has been a mess. He's allowed 5+ earned in 4 straight. So I'm going to go with the Guardians here in game one. Allen's been good. I think Cleveland's the better team than the White Sox, and I do think that the line, I don't know what it's going to be, but I do think it might be a bit too cheap because the White Sox, we know, are really bad, and if you can get any decent price fading them, you'll take that opportunity. Give me the Guardians in game one here with Allen on the mound. Moving on to game 2 on the card, you're looking at the matchup between the Cubs and the Yankees. You have Flexum taking on Rodon. Yankees minus 185. I see the Cubs at plus 155, and the over-under in this game is set at around 9. Juice of the over, though, about minus 120. Now, Flexum's been incredible, actually. 5-0, 0.83 ERA. Rodon, 9-6, 3.3 ERA. The Yankees had a miraculous comeback to sweep the Mariners on Thursday night as they were down 5-0, being no hit into the 8th inning. Came back, they rallied off Munoz in the 9th, and eventually ended up winning in extras with the sac fly by Judge. Great slide by Volpe in the 10th inning. For the Cubs, though, I know this team can mash. They are 55-38, 3 games better than the Yankees. They did win the finale against Minnesota as they won 8-1. Now, the Cubs this season have been fine on the road, much better at home in Wrigley. They're 25-22. Yankees, though, were in a slump for a while. They finally got back on track. They've won 4 in a row, including a sweep against the Mariners. They have scored at least 5 runs in a bunch of games in a row, actually. They have scored at least 5 runs in, I believe, 9 straight games. So they've actually been doing very well at the plate, and you could argue that might result in a pretty high total, which is why this number is set at 9, which is juice. Now, the Yankees, I do think, have, you can argue, a bit of a tax here with minus 185 against Flexen, who's been really good this season. 190 does feel kind of steep. Rodon's been solid this season. His ERA is below, once again, 3.4, so he's been in good form. Was not good last start, though. 5 innings, 7 runs, 6 earned against the Mets. Gave up the grand slam in the first inning. So point is, he has kind of regressed a bit recently, and I do think for the price alone, I'll go with the Cubs in this game. Yes, I know the Yankees are the hot hand. They used a lot of bullpen guys with the extra inning game. We saw Devin Williams get the win in the 10th inning. I do think the Cubs have value. The price feels very high. The Cubs can definitely, I'd say, match the Yankees offensively. So I don't mind the over in this game based on the form of the Yankees offense. I do think, though, the Cubs are being disrespected here with the better record. Plus 160 just feels massive to me. The Yankees, I think, should be like minus 140 in this game. 190 is outrageous off an extra inning game where you burned a lot of the bullpen. Give me the Cubs in this one for plus money, and I like the over in this game. But 160 is too good to pass up on. I'll take that as my main choice for this game. Moving on to the Marlins taking on the Orioles. For this one, you have Cabrera against Kramer. Now, Kramer was recently named to Team Israel for the World Baseball Classic, so I don't know if Adam's going to fade him tomorrow or not. Check out the Propcast in the morning to find out. But Cabrera's been very good recently. Now, the Orioles are minus 130. The Marlins are plus 110. For the over-under, I do see the line being set at 9. Now, first glance, 9 feels very high. Cabrera's been really good, and you're looking at his last couple starts, he has allowed less than 3 earned runs in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 straight starts. He's allowed less than 3 earned. Kramer's been a lot more volatile. He's been pretty up and down, ERA in the mid-4s. Was not good last outing against the Braves. He got shelled. But the last 3 starts before that one, he allowed 2 earned runs combined. I like the under in the game. I think 9's too high. I think Cabrera can go well. I don't trust Miami's offense. I do think that, once again, Kramer can go well against bad teams, and I do think that it'll look sharper here. Give me the under in this game. Cabrera's been shoving recently, and Kramer, I think, can do a decent enough job against this really bad lineup, in my opinion. So I'll go with the under in this game. I think 9 is a bit high, and I think you'll see a low-scoring game unfold because of it. So moving on to the next game for this one, you have the Rockies against the Reds. Now, you have Burns against Marquez. The Reds are minus 215. You have the Rockies at plus 180. Burns is 0-1, 8.1 ERA, mainly because of that Red Sox start where he got shelled immediately. Marquez, though, 3-10, 5.84 ERA. I will point out, though, that he has been better lately. He got shelled the last start against the White Sox, and not a good sign. Before that, though, he had allowed less than 3 earned in 4 straight. Now, for the actual money line, Reds, of course, massive favorites, rightfully so, because the Rockies stink. The over-under in this game is set at 9.5. Now, for the run line, the only way you could actually bet the Reds in this game, the Reds minus 1.5 is about minus 110. So the Rockies got destroyed, not just swept, but destroyed by Boston over the last few days. They lost every game by at least 6 runs and got outscored 29-7. Ouch. They have been a laughingstock all season. Nothing has changed. They are 21-72. They are currently 11-36 straight up on the road. You know what? Give me the Reds minus 1.5. I know it's going to sound dangerous because Burns did not go well against the Red Sox and he's still young. The Rockies, though, are a meme. You can get a decent price fading them at minus 110. The Reds' offense, they can do some damage against Marquez, who pitches to contact. And if he was in good form and got shelled by the White Sox, I do think he might regress back to his old self again. Give me the Reds minus 1.5, mainly wanting to fade the Rockies blindly at a bettable price. Give me the Reds minus 1.5 in this one. Moving on to the Mariners taking on the Tigers. Mariners somehow choked away the game against the Yankees on Thursday. 5-0 lead with a no-hitter in the 8th, and they blew the game. Ouch. They are 3 over 500 in general. They're one under on the road. Probably going to miss the playoffs, so keep that in mind. For the Tigers, they are great, 59-35. Scooball's pitching, 10-2, 2.02 ERA. Guy's an absolute machine. Castillo's been good, though, 5-5, 3.31 ERA. Tigers, though, minus 210. Mariners are plus 175. For the over-under in this game, I do see it being set at 7. For the run line for the Tigers here, you have minus 1.5 at around minus 102. I actually see some plus money. I see plus 108 available on Bet Rivers. And for Seattle, plus 1.5 is minus 125. Now, Castillo, I'll mention the actual numbers recently because he has been really, really good. He had a bad start against the Twins a couple outings ago. Then the last 2 starts, 13 innings, 1 total run. Then again, that was against the Pirates and the Rangers. So grain of salt, but still worth mentioning. Castillo's been very good. As for Scooball, I don't really have any adjectives to add. He's the best pitcher in the entire league by a mile. He's a monster. Last 2 starts, 14 innings pitched, no runs allowed, 4 hits allowed, 23 strikeouts. The guy's an absolute machine, and nobody can really stop him. The Tigers have won 6 straight starts that he's made. They have also, going back even further, they have won 11 of his last 12 starts. They win every time this guy pitches, and he really just owns every lineup in the entire league. Seattle's off a late night game in New York, burning a couple of key relievers with Munoz, who I know blew the game. He's still one of the best relievers. He's not going to be available for this game. You've been in a slump anyway because Seattle was winning the division after the first couple of months, and then they fell apart, and Houston took over. But Seattle's really not a great road team, and looking at the Mariners losing all 3 games to the Yankees, they got shelled in terms of pitching the entire series. I think they're in trouble here. Castillo might go fine. I see a low-scoring game. I'm not sure Seattle scores against Skubal because I don't feel good about any team scoring against Skubal. It's a late-night game with travel. It's a bad spot for Seattle. Give me the Tigers minus 1.5 at plus money. End of the day, Skubal with plus money on the run line, I got to take it on principle. The guy's a machine. What do you want? I mean, if you ended up seeing back in the day, if you had a minus 1.5 at plus money for prime Verlander, for prime Kershaw, even further back like Pedro or Randy Johnson, you're taking plus money. It is what it is. Give me the Tigers minus 1.5 at home at around plus 108 for this one. Moving on to the next game, a matchup between the Rays and the Red Sox. Speaking of blown leads, the Rays bullpen fell apart again, and Boston keeps rolling as they stole the first game of that series. Wasted a good performance from Taj as Bradley looked great, and then the bullpen came in, and Baker was horrific, and Boston came back and won. Good for Boston. They ended up having a nice run with the offense recently, had a nice performance yesterday in the series opener. Rays have been regressing a bit more, but they are still a pretty good team. For the actual money line for this game, Boston as the home team is, I'd say, about a pick'em in this one. For the pitching matchup, I do see Rasmussen against Dobbins. I see about minus 110 on both sides. For the over-under in this game, I see 9 or 8.5. Now, for Rasmussen, he's been good this season, a 7.5, 2.82 ERA. The problem is they don't actually use him for any distance, and because of that, his good numbers don't mean anything for the sake of this start. For the actual numbers on Rasmussen, he went 92 pitches against the Orioles on June 19th. Since then, 62 pitches, 54 pitches, 32 pitches. So he's basically a glorified opener at this point. I don't really know why. They're trying to limit his innings, I guess, even though he's been one of the better pitchers in the rotation all season. So Rasmussen's been good, but he's basically going 2 innings. So I don't really care that he's starting this game because this bullpen is absolutely terrible based on the last month or so. Meanwhile, for Dobbins, he's not great, but he's fine. He's 4-1, 4.1 ERA. He is, just checking to see how he's doing. I know he was decent in his double-A start that he had in rehab. I want to make sure that he's actually pitching confirmed for this matchup. Let me just see. No, I don't believe he's pitching because he made his minor league rehab start about 4 days ago. So I don't know who's pitching for Boston in this game. Apologies there, but it's not going to be Dobbins for this game. So ESPN is making up stuff again. For the matchup itself, though, I'll go Boston in this game. At the end of the day, Boston's bullpen has been better lately, and the offense has been very good recently, and that's been the main catalyst for the run, as Boston has been on a winning streak recently. Tampa, though, only 6 over now. They're only half a game ahead of Boston. Boston has won 7 in a row. They've been really, really good offensively during this stretch. I think Tampa's bullpen is going to get into some trouble for this game. And if Rasmussen, whose great numbers only get you about 2-3 innings at this point in the season, that's not good enough for me. Give me Boston in this game, despite not knowing who's pitching for this team. Moving on to the next matchup, you have Game 2 between the Guardians and the White Sox. So for this game, you have Gavin Williams against Cannon. Guardians minus 145, White Sox plus 120. For the over-under in this game, I see it being set at around, what do I see, about 8.5, give or take in this game. So Williams, we saw get robbed of a great performance last start because he went 6 innings, 1 hit, no runs, and we ended up seeing them blow the game in the ninth inning with the Clase Wild pitch, and then they lost in extras. So Williams has been up and down for most of the season. The walks are always a concern. He's walked at least 3 batters in 5 straight starts. So the command's always a concern because of that. He never goes distance because his pitch count gets high very quickly. Now, for the opposing pitcher in Cannon, I've never been a big Cannon guy. However, he's been okay last 2 outings, 8 in the third and 3 earned runs. The point is, I don't think he goes much distance, and I don't think he's very good. So based on that, I think I am going to go with Williams by default. I don't mind maybe going for a first 5 under, or maybe Cleveland minus a half in the first 5, because I do think that Gavin Williams is better than Cannon, but do I really trust the Guardians' offense to hit? Not really, so I guess I'm on the under in this game, just daring either offense to do something in this matchup, but I think Cleveland should be favored. I think this line makes sense. I'll go Gavin Williams for the hell of it, but I'm probably not going to bet that for this actual price. Anyway, before we get into the remainder of the card for Friday, a reminder, brought to you by our sponsor, which is Circa. It's still hosting the football contest for Circa Million Circa Survivor. If you think you know ball, you can prove it. Enter Circa's football contest with $20 million in guaranteed prizes. And good news, there's no rake. So if the entries go above the guarantee, all the extra money will go to the prize pool. Circa Million, you pick 5 teams ATS each week, or go for the ultimate sweat in Circa Survivor. There's even a Circa Grandissimo, a 100K Circa Survivor contest. You want to register in person at Circa Sportsbook in Nevada. And also, when you sign up in Nevada, you can play from anywhere with the help of SGPN official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com. Use code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. We're also brought to you by MyBookie, because MyBookie at the plays every sport. They have the baseball cards, they have WNBA, they have golf, they have Wimbledon for tennis, they have UFC, you name it. They have football as well for college and for the NFL. They're available at 100 locations. Use crypto for fast payouts. Use Positive Santo for your new account, though. Don't forget, you can use crypto, by the way, for your signups if you want to. But a reminder, when you sign up for a new account, use the code SGPN to get a special 100% doesn't match up to 1K. Terms and conditions apply. My bookie at a promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. With the first couple games on the card for Friday, time to keep rolling with the rest of the slate. Moving on to the Mets taking on the Royals, a weird series against the Orioles. The Mets did not fare well in for the doubleheader on Thursday. Royals, though, 2 under. They still can't hit. Big story for the game, Senga is back for the Mets. How long will he go? We don't know. But he's been insane this season, and the Mets need him. So Senga is 7-3, 1.47 ERA. Waka 4-9, 3.83 ERA. Mets minus 150. The Royals are plus 125. For the over-under in this game, I see it being set at 9. Now, Waka's had a pretty weird season because, as mentioned before, his ERA is below 4, but he's 4-9. At home, 2.81 ERA. However, he's been really bad lately. Last 3 starts, he has gone a total of 15 innings, and he has allowed a total of 12 earned runs. The problem is, do I want to lay 150 with the Mets, who've been terrible for the last month or so? Not really. Not really interested in that proposition. However, do I want to go with maybe the Royals team total under and trust Senga to pitch well for this matchup? That could be an option. Senga, I'll point out, has not pitched in the majors since the middle of June 12th. So Senga might go well. He might not go long in this matchup, but I don't trust Waka at all. He's been really bad. So maybe Mets first 5. You take Senga against Waka, go from there. But the Royals, we know, can't hit. Worst offensive team at home in the league. Mets have been terrible. They had a doubleheader on Thursday, so I'm assuming Senga might have to go 5 in this game. I'll go Mets first 5. I'll go basic, I'd say, approach here. Give me the better pitcher early in the game. Will I bet this? Absolutely not. I'm just not going to. The Mets, I'm not going anywhere near with a 10-foot pole. The Royals stink. I'll avoid both teams. I'll give you the Mets first 5, but I'm not going to bet this game. For this one, I see also mentioning that the Red Sox are actually dogs in a spot of minus 102. I don't get it either. Rasmussen's good numbers only mean about 2-3 innings. I don't really care. I'll go with Boston in that one. But before this game, given the Mets first 5, I'm not going to bet it, though. Full disclosure. Moving on to the Pirates taking on the Twins. You have Skeens against Ryan. For this one, Twins minus 125. The Pirates are plus 105. For the over-under in this game, I see it being set at around 6.5 or 7. Is that a fair line? Definitely. Skeens we know has been great. 1.94 ERA, 4-7 record. What an absolute waste of an elite pitcher. Last 2 starts, 10 innings pitched, no runs. I'll point out it's going to be his last start pre-All-Star break. There is a chance that he might go 5 innings again to save his arm to pitch in the All-Star game. Could happen. So Skeens might only go 5 here. Keep that in mind. He's been going 5 the last 2 starts. They have kind of been short on the pitch count. So if you are going Pittsburgh, keep in mind, he might not go more than 5 innings. For Ryan, he's been really good as well. Now, for his numbers, 2.76 ERA. He was very good against the Rays last start, 2 earned runs in 6 innings. He's allowed a total of 3 runs in his last 3 starts combined. My prediction, first 5 under. Give me Skeens and Ryan. I will avoid 4 innings of Pittsburgh's bullpen. Good enough for me. I like Minnesota on the money line because A, Skeens only going to go 5 innings. B, they never win his starts anyway. So I do think that the Tigers are an example of an elite pitcher with Skubal, with an actual offense that can get him wins. The Pirates have an elite pitcher and do nothing to help him by comparison. So Skubal, for example, is winning almost every start that he's in because the Tigers have a legitimate offense. The Pirates have nothing. It's a flashback to Felix Hernandez back in Seattle or DeGrom back with the Mets. It's a waste of time. You're going to be looking at decent prices, not in this case, but in most cases, where you look at Skeens, a bunch of zeros on the board, he gets pulled, 2-run homer by the bullpen. Happens all the time. It's a waste. Give me Minnesota for this game. I think Skubal goes 5. Don't mind his under-outs, actually, for this one, but I am going to go with the Twins. I like the first 5 under in this game. Skubal, I think, will go a long time because he's really, really good. Skeens probably only goes 5. They pull him. Good enough for me. Give me the first 5 under in this game between Pittsburgh and Minnesota. Moving on to the next matchup, the Rangers taking on the Astros. For this one, we know that Texas is playing right now, actually. They were up 9-0, and they still are in the 4th inning. However, despite the performance on Thursday, this team still stinks. They're about to be 46-48. Houston, though, is 55-38. For this one, I see Leiter taking on McCullers as the matchup for now. Houston's about minus 135. Texas is plus 115. For the over-under in this game, I see 8.5. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. McCullers has been quite bad this season. He's been really bad at home, 11.37 ERA. But he was really good against the Dodgers last start. 6 innings, 1 run. Now the Dodgers have fallen apart. They've lost 5 or 6 in a row. Got swept by Milwaukee over the last few days. But it's a good start. You got to start from somewhere. McCullers might go decently against a pretty bad offense on the road. Now for Leiter, he has been up and down the season, 4-6, 4.32 ERA. He has really not been amazing, but he can perform decently. The problem is the Rangers really never win his starts. So the Rangers, looking at his actual performances lately, they have lost 5 straight starts that he's made, and they've lost 7 of 8. So they never win when he pitches. Give me Houston in this one. It might look a bit ugly at times. Texas might be leading early, and then you might see a comeback attempt. But Houston just invents ways to win games, and I think that this is actually a cheap price against a pretty bad Rangers team that's underachieved the entire season. Give me Houston on the money line. Will I bet this? Probably not, because I don't trust McCullers, but I do think they can win this game at a pretty decent price. Give me Houston, minus 135 for the money line on this one. Moving on to the Nationals taking on the Brewers. Nationals screwed me over today as I had the team total over, and they scored no runs against Mikolas, of all people, as they lost the finale against the Cardinals. Parker, though, going up against Priester. Brewers minus 180, the Nationals plus 150. For the over-under in this game, I do see it being set at around 8.5. For the run line for Milwaukee in this game, Brewers minus 1.5 is around plus 118, plus 120. For the Nationals, plus 1.5 is minus 135. Now, the Brewers just swept the Dodgers. Nice comeback in the final game. Tanner Scott still blowing games for the Dodgers. Either way, though, give me Milwaukee minus 1.5. Nationals, not a great offense. I picked them for 1 game against a bad pitcher, and they scored no runs against Mikolas. So I'm not interested in this team. Milwaukee, though, this team's good. They're 53-40. They have won 4 in a row. They have a pretty deep lineup. The power bats are not that consistent from top to bottom. But Collins has been great. A lot of guys have stepped up. Durbin's been better over the last month or two. They're a pretty deep lineup. They're not going to really kill you with home runs, but they will kill you with a bunch of singles and walks. This team can move the line. They can build pitch counts. They can really frustrate starting pitchers. And they're also really good at home. Looking at the actual record for Milwaukee at home this season, the Brewers are a casual 30-17. Give me Milwaukee minus 1.5. Priester's been good. He was terrible with Pittsburgh, and Milwaukee kind of dug him up, and they turned him into a decent pitcher. Now, he was not good the last outing against the Marlins on the road, as he went 4 2/3, 4 earned. However, his last couple of home starts, he's been absolutely shoving. Last 3 home starts, 7 innings, 1 hit, no runs against the Rockies, 11 strikeouts. Cardinals, 6 innings, 1 run, and he got the win there. And for the Braves, 6 innings, 1 run. So he's been great. Milwaukee's actually won 7 straight starts that Priester's made. So give me Milwaukee minus 1.5 here. I'll fade the Nationals. I think that is a good spot for Milwaukee with a day off on Thursday. Fully rested bullpen. Priester's been good. Give me the Brewers minus 1.5 for this one at plus money. Moving on to the Braves taking on the Cardinals. Braves are playing right now. I believe they were up 4-3 against the A's in the 7th. For the other team here, you have the Cardinals who won against the Nationals tonight. You have Holmes against Liberatore. Cardinals minus 120. Braves even money for the over-under in this game. I see it being set at around 8.5. Now, Liberatore and Holmes, you'd argue, are kind of similar. They're fine pitchers. Their ERAs are below 4. You don't feel great about them being a 1 or a 2. As a 3 or a 4, they're not bad. Decent mid-rotation guys. Now, the Cardinals, we know, are good at home. They are 28-18. For Atlanta, they're really bad in general, really bad on the road, as they are 16-29. Now, I think I'm going to go with the Cardinals anyway. The Braves have been overrated all season. They've been overpriced all season. This line makes sense. Holmes has been good. He's allowed 4 earned in his last 4 starts combined. However, it might just be based on the price itself. Fading Atlanta on the road at minus 120 is just such a phenomenal concept. I can't really turn that down. Liberatore's allowed 6 runs in his last 4 starts combined. So both guys have actually been pretty good recently. But St. Louis at home has some devil magic going on, and the Braves can't win on the road to save their lives. Give me the Cardinals minus 120 as my thought for this one. I see Don asking a question. 2 pitchers that I like that might get 5 Ks for tomorrow. So are those going to be anybody, or you want people with decent prices? Because Scooball and Skeens are going to get to 5 each. But do you want like actual value options? Because I'm trying to think of who to go with. Priester, I don't mind, actually. I think Priester's in a decent spot. I'd potentially strike out a decent amount of guys there for Washington. That could be interesting if you want to go for Priester. Could be a decent price. I don't actually mind Joe Ryan. I think Ryan could be decent for strikeouts. If you want to go for a guy tomorrow, I think he can go well against this bad Pittsburgh offense. Cabrera can go decently against Baltimore. Couple of options there. Your obvious choices are Scooball and Skeens, but the minus on that's going to be insane. So a couple of options there, a couple of guys. There we go. I'm moving on to the next game. You're looking at the next matchup, which is going to be between the Diamondbacks and the Angels. Both teams playing right now. Angels getting blown out 9-0. Diamondbacks are tied 2-2 in the 5th against the Padres. For this one, though, you have Nelson against Anderson. Nelson, I think, had a perfect game through 5 innings last start. And I think he had a no-hitter through about 6 against the Royals, and they won. For this one, though, the Diamondbacks minus 125. The Angels are plus 105. Anderson has not been good this season. I'd say his ERA has been okay. But overall, not exactly cutting it recently. Last start, 5 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs against the Blue Jays. He's been up and down. He's not a guy that's going to wow you because his fastball is non-existent. So he's kind of a junk ball pitcher at the stage in his career. Mentioned the home numbers, though, very good. A 2.66 ERA. As for Nelson, yeah, he's been good. 5-2, 3.39 ERA. Last start, 7 innings, 1 run against the Royals. He's allowed less than 3 earned runs in 5 straight starts. So he's been shoving lately. And Arizona offensively can be streaky. Carroll finally came back. They can hit. I'll go Diamondbacks here. they're better than the Angels. Like, I understand the Angels' record is similar to Arizona, but I do think Arizona's the better team. And I think the Angels are a team that's overachieved up to this point. They can't really pitch. They are about to lose their fifth game out of the last seven. I will go with the Diamondbacks here. I think the offense is better. I think Nelson's better. I think it's a good spot for Arizona, actually. Give me the Diamondbacks minus 125 as my choice for this one. Moving on to the Phillies taking on the Padres. So for this one, you're looking at the matchup between Suarez and Bergert. For this one, Phillies minus 165, Padres plus 140. For the over-under in this game, I see 8. Now, Suarez has been incredible. 7-2, 1.99 ERA. ERA on the road, 1.06. He's allowed less than 2 earned runs in 5 straight. So once again, just consistently putting up great performances, and you're looking at Bergert, who got called in midseason. You know what? He's actually been okay. Last start, not great. 3 innings, 3 earned. And in fact, he was in the minors, I believe. So I want to make sure that he's actually starting, or if ESPN's making it up again for this one. He's supposed to start on. He might actually pitch in this game. I don't know. I'm assuming he's not going to because he had a forearm issue, so probably not going to be him for this outing. So keep that in mind. San Diego might go rogue for the pitcher. Now, Philly killed the Giants in the last game of that series. They arguably should have swept. They lost on the inside the park home run, but they've been hitting well lately. So you're looking at the Padres offense, which has been up and down. Sorry, they actually lost the first 2 games to the Giants. They won the finale 13-0. I'll go Philly in this game. I don't know who's pitching for San Diego, but Suarez is definitely a bet-on guy. He's really, really good. Give me Philly, first 5 minus half a run. Think it's a good spot for them in this one. Moving on to the next game on the card, matchup between the Blue Jays and the A's. For this one, Blue Jays are about minus 155. You have Scherzer against Severino. For the A's, plus 130. The over-under in this game is set at 10.5. Severino at home. I don't think I have to add anything else. I say this every time. Severino in public made quotes saying how this home field, this temporary home stadium stinks for the A's because all their pitchers stink here. It is a very good hitters-friendly ballpark, and Severino has been in hell pitching here this season. Last 3 starts in general, he has gone 13 innings and he's allowed 17 runs. It's been a mess. His numbers at home this season are also laughably bad. He's 0-8 with a 7.04 ERA. Now, will Scherzer pitch well in the spot? Probably not. So I think that you're going to see a high-scoring game. Scherzer has been battling 4 innings, 2 runs, 5 innings, 2 runs, 5 innings, 3 runs, etc. I see runs in this game. Give me the over. I think Severino gets decapitated in this game. Give me the Blue Jays, though, to dominate. I think Severino gives up 5 earned again, give or take. Blue Jays, even if you don't like them, they're better than the A's, and Severino's been god-awful at home and god-awful in general. Give me Toronto. Give me the over in this game. I see a bunch of runs. And moving on to the final game between the Dodgers and the Giants, you have May against Webb. Webb at home, you know where I'm going with this one, but Giants minus 135, Dodgers are plus 115. For the over-under in this game, I see 7.5. Now, the Dodgers have been in free fall lately, as they have lost 6 in a row. They got swept by the Brewers. They've scored less than 3 runs in 4 straight. They have been really, really bad lately. Does it matter? Probably not. But the point is, they're going to win the division most likely. They're 5 games ahead of the Giants. So a big series for San Francisco if they want to give themselves the illusion of competing for the NL West title. Now, Webb, we know, is incredible at home every year. This year is no different. 59 and a third innings pitched, a 1.52 ERA at home. The last couple outings, he's been consistent. 6 2/3, 2 runs, 6 1/3, 3 runs, 6 innings, 2 runs, 7 innings, 1 run, etc. He's Logan Webb. I don't have to add anything else. Pretty self-explanatory. He's Logan Webb is what he does. So for this one, give me the under in this game. Dodgers can't hit. Webb's been great. May's been fine recently. And the Giants offensively have not really been good either. I do think May can go decently against this team, but it's mainly wanting to take Webb against this Dodgers offense right now. For the actual pricing, you're looking at the Giants, who are favored in the game, which I agree with. But unfortunately, I don't know if I like the value. I was hoping that you'd blindly get the Dodgers at like minus 120, take the Giants at even money, and go from there. But I think the odds makers got this right with Webb being favored against a team in free fall. Give me the under. 7.5 with Webb is a high total in this ballpark. I'll go under. I do it all the time. Give me the under with Webb at night in San Francisco. Give me a classic 4-2 game, and we'll go from there. It's going to wrap it up, though, for all the games on the card. Time to move on into the lock and dog plays. For that, the reminder, brought to you by our sponsor, Arm Fantasy, because they're doing Best Ball Mania, happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, putting $2 million for first place. No waiver wire, no argument about trades. Best ball is the best way to play fantasy football. And a reminder, Arnold is also available for Pick'em. If you want to create some entries, sign up though with the code MLB SGPN to get a special pick in the first time that offer up to 1K in bonus cash on fantasy promo code MLB SGPN. We're also supported by Rhythm, because they have power trends, which are the best of what the house models have to offer. They are added to patterns, and they can give you great props to tail blindly with all of the model data supporting it. They have great numbers so far. MLB this season power trends are at a win rate of 63%, ROI of 4.5% over the past 400 bets. WNBA, though, has been really good lately. Power trends 35 and 20 since launch, 63% hit rate as well. 20+% ROI. Download the app, check out Power Trends, start betting smarter, and also you get it for free for a week by the 7-day trial for sportsgamepodcast.com. With them, get your 7-day free trial. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finish going through all the games for the Friday card. Time to move on into the lock and dog picks. Swept the last episode, been in a good form recently on the picks section. Going to try to keep rolling here for the games on Friday. So I actually liked a lot on the card. We're just going to make this interesting for the lock and dog, because I actually saw a couple of angles I could go with for the card itself. For the lock, do I want to go with the under in that Marlins game? I mean, I got a bunch of options. I can go with potentially going with the Reds fading the Rockies. I can go with the Red Sox potentially. I can go with the first 5 under in the Pirates game. I got a lot of options here, which is going to be pretty tricky to choose one that I have to go with. For my lock, though, I'm going to go with that under in the Marlins and the Orioles game. I think it's a good match between two pitchers that can, once again, look sharp against bad offenses. It's at 9, minus 105 on FanDuel. Kramer, I think, can go fine here. Maybe he's in good spirits after joining Team Israel for the World Baseball Classic. Cabrera's been great. The Orioles offense has been better lately to some degree, but Cabrera's been really good for about 2 months straight at this point, and he's got great stuff. Kramer, I think, can go well enough to not get killed by Miami, and Miami can't really hit either. Give me the under 9 as my lock for the show. Minus 105, too good to pass up on. I'll take that as my lock. For my dog, do I want Skubal minus 1.5, or do I want to go with the Brewers, actually, minus 1.5 for this one? I think I'll go Brewers minus 1.5. It's plus 120. Can't really turn that down. Priester's been great, and I do think Milwaukee, based on the form they're in, sweeping the Dodgers, morale's high. They had a day off on Thursday. Bullpen's been good too, fully available. I think it's a good spot for them. Looking at Priester, just for the actual numbers at home, 3.03 ERA. Milwaukee, once again, has won 7 straight starts that he's made. I like the spot for Milwaukee. The Nationals got shut down by Mikolas on Thursday. Parker's been quite bad as well. Parker has allowed at least 3 earned in 3 straight. He's allowed 10 earned in his last 3 starts combined. And on top of that, he's allowed at least 6 hits in, I believe that is a 5 straight starts. So it pitches to contact. Milwaukee can definitely tee off against them. See a good matchup at plus money. Give him the Brewers plus 120 for the run line. So one's going to place here for the show. Lock's going to be on the under 9 between the Orioles and the Marlins. For the dog, give me the Brewers minus 1.5 at around plus 120. Now for the home run pick for the show, I want to see Severino's numbers again, because it probably is going to be in that game. The problem is you're looking at the odds makers kind of really juicing the home run plays in this matchup because of the ballpark and Severino just getting killed in this ballpark every time he pitches there. So I think I will go with Toronto. Vlad's going to be the common choice, but despite not being a great home run option this season, I want to see the home run numbers, though, that each guy has against him. Springer's got 2, but he's 3 for 31 lifetime. Jesus. 3 for 31. It might actually be Vlad for this one. Unless I want to go with somebody else, which could be a potential pivot. Let me just see quickly again if there's anybody else I want to take home run plays against for the card. I didn't see many home run fades, just guys that I think get absolutely blasted. Parker might, but it might be death by paper cut against Milwaukee. A bunch of singles and doubles. Not really a home run heavy lineup. The no home run in the Giants game's always fun with Webb pitching. I'll go Vlad. Why not? I think Severino is going to get shelled again. Vlad's a good option. Give me Vlad Jr. For the home run as my choice there. Do I have a price on it? No, but I do think it's a good spot for him to tee off in a very hitter-friendly ballpark against a pitcher that has been vocal about hating this ballpark. So give me Vlad Jr. as my home run pick for this one. Anyway, it's going to wrap it up for the show. We'll back once again in the morning for the prop show on Friday with Adam and I. Sorry again for the late recording time. I was traveling, so it is what it is. Until next time, good luck to all of you and all of your